Hi everyone, welcome back for chapters 6 and 7 from Junie B. Jones is Captain Field Day by Barbara Park. And I'm sitting out here on the girls' softball field. Actually, I'm sitting in the bleachers. I'm not out on the field. But I thought what a great place to read these two chapters. So, thanks for tuning in. Here we go. Chapter 6 is called Losing. Yesterday when we left chapter 5, you might remember that Junie B was in a relay race and her shoe flew off. And instead of continuing to run, she stopped to put her shoe back on, but thought it was great because it was Velcro. She didn't have to tie it. So her team was not really happy with her. So let's keep going now. Chapter 6 is called Losing. Room 9 was not a good sport to me. They kept saying it was my fault we lost the race. I stamped my foot at those people. No, it's not my fault, I said back. My shoe flied off, and so what am I supposed to do? Run in my sock foot? Meanie Jim got close to my face. Yes, he yelled. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, Junie B. You are supposed to run in your sock foot. I thought very hard about that. Well, what do you know? I said kind of quiet. It looks like Captain Field Day has learned something new today. Room 9 did a groan. Oh, I backed away from them real carefully, or else they might tackle me possibly. I backed all the way up to Mrs. They're mad at me, I said. They're mad because I lost the race. Mrs. ruffled my hair. It's not your fault, Junie B., she said. Your shoe came off by accident. And besides, field day is not about who wins or loses. Field day is about having fun. I hanged my head down really low. Yeah, only what's so fun about losing, I said. That's what I'd like to know. Just then, Mrs. made another announcement. Boys and girls, I do not want to hear one more word about winners and losers, okay? Field day is a day to run around in the fresh air and enjoy the sunshine. We came out here to have fun and get some exercise, and we're not going to care one little bit who wins and who loses. As soon as Mrs. walked away, new Thelma skipped right up to me. Room 8 is winning, she said real squealy. Room 8 is beating room 9, 1-0. I made a mad face at that girl. Yeah, only didn't you hear my teacher, Thelma? I said. Room 9 doesn't even care who wins or loses. Room 9 just came out here to run in the air. So, ha on you. Yeah, said Ricardo. Yeah, said Jamal Hall. Yeah, said Lenny. Then all those people gave me a high five, 'cause I guess I made a good point, apparently. Pretty soon, the Room 8 teacher blew her whistle again. The next event will be the softball throw, she said. Unlike the relay race, this contest is not going to be a team event. The softball throw is for anyone who wants to join in. If you'd like to see how far you can throw the ball, please form a line right behind me. Polly Allen Puffer was the first in line. I'm a good thrower, he said. I'm probably the best thrower in room 9, in fact. Lenny lined up next. I'm a good thrower too, she said. Me too, said Jamal Hall. Just then, Crybaby William pulled on my cape. Apparently he wanted to whisper to me again. I'm not good at this event either, he said real quiet. I don't have to do it right, Captain. I don't have to throw the ball. I put my arm around his shoulder. No, you don't, I said. You don't have to worry about this at all, William. Polly Allen Puffer's going to win this thing for us in a breeze. Just then, a boy from room 8 jumped in line. New Thelma did a loud squeal. Oh, it's Strong Frankie. Strong Frankie is the strongest boy in kindergarten, she said real thrilled. All of us looked at him. Strong Frankie made a big arm muscle. It was largish and roundish. New Thelma cheered and cheered. "Go strong, Frankie! Go strong, Frankie! Go strong, Frankie!" she hollered. I tapped on her. "You are getting on my nerves, my dear," I said. New Thelma just giggled in my face. "Oh, that girl bothers me, I tell you." Just then, Mrs. clapped her hands together. "Okay, everyone, we're ready to begin. The first person to throw the softball will be Polly Allen Puffer from room 9. We only have time to give everyone one try, so do your best, okay?" Polly Allen Puffer did a big grin. "I only need one try," he said. "I've been throwing softballs my whole life." After that, he picked up the ball off the ground and he winded it up with all of his might, and bam! He threw that ball as far as he could. Only too bad for room 9, because he didn't exactly aim that good, and the ball went straight down into the playground, and it made a thud and made a hole in the dirt. Room 9 just stared and stared at that thing. "Bummer," I said. "Bummer," said Meanie Jim. "Bummer," said Charlotte. Polly Allen Puffer jumped up and down real upset. "I need another try. I need another try. Please, teacher, please, please, please," he said. But Mrs. just gave him a pat on the back, and she moved him out of line. I walked over to my bestest friend, Grace. "He blew it," I said, real disappointed. "Polly Allen Puffer just blew it for our team." "Yes," said that Grace. "Just like when you blew the relay race, Junie B." I made some squinty eyes at that girl. "Thank you, Grace. Thank you for reminding me," I said. "You're welcome," she said back. That Grace does not understand sarcasm, apparently. After that, lots of other boys and girls from our class threw that softball too. Roger threw the farthest in room 9. The ball went all the way over the fence. Room 9 shouted his name real thrilled. "Roger, Roger, Roger." The next person to throw was Strong Frankie. He picked that softball up from the basket and he rolled it around and around and around in his hands. And then he threw that thing with all of his muscles. I did a gasp, because that ball flied all the way over the fence, and we never saw it again. Room 8 screamed and shouted and skipped and danced. Also, they hopped and jumped and twirled. Room 9 slumped their shoulders, very depressed, because guess what? Losing is not very joyful. Chapter 7 is called Skunked. The skipping race came next. Room 9 chose our fastest skippers. Their names were Charlotte, Jamal Hall, That Grace, Lenny, and Meanie Jim. Those people can skip like lightning, I tell you. I made up a cheer for them. Its name was Go Skippers. Here are the words to my cheer. Go Skippers, go Skippers, go Skippers, go Skippers. I cheered real loud in front of room 8 because I really thought we would win this one. Only what do you know? We didn't. Some of our skippers cried a little bit. "We got skunked," said Lenny, very sniffling. "Skunked means our score was a big goose egg," said Jamal Hall. "A big goose egg is like a big fat 0, said Grace. "A big fat 0 is when you're stinking up the place," said Meanie Jim, very glum. Mrs. did not like this kind of talk at all. Hey, 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 hey. That's enough of that," she said. "I'm very proud of all of you. You did your best, and that's all anyone can ask. Right, Junie B?" "Yes," I said. "Plus also, a win would be very nice." I sat down. Mrs. looked at me a long time. "The tug-of-war event is the next event," she finally said. "How about another cheer for our team captain to get us charged up?" "No, thank you," I said. "I already did a cheer for the skipping team, and look where that got us." Mrs. made some squinty eyes at me. "Try," she said. I stood up. "Rah!" And I sat back down. "Thank you," said Mrs. "Try it again." I stood back up again. "Rah!" I said, and I sat back down. "That was a little better," said Mrs. All of us lined up for tug-of-war. Room 8 held on to one side of the rope, and Room 9 held on to the other side. Mrs. tied a bow right in the middle of it. Then she drew a line on the ground in front of each team, kind of like what Mr. Miller does. "Okay, people," she said, "whichever team pulls the bow over their line is the winner. Is everyone ready?" "Yes, yes, yes," shouted Room 8. Room 9 just looked at her. William was behind me. "I'm not that good at tug-of-war, Junie B," he whispered. "I've never even done tug-of-war before." "Join the club, bub," I grumped. After that, the Room 8 teacher blew her whistle, and both of our teams started to pull. Room 9 pulled and pulled with all their might. "People, people, we're doing it! We're doing it!" I shouted, very shocked. We pulled some more. Then all of a sudden we heard a loud holler. It was Strong Frankie. He yanked the rope as hard as he could. Then Lenny and Ricardo fell down in the grass, and the bow went over the line. Room 8 went crazy and happy. They were loud and laughing. Room 9 walked over to the water fountain real sad. Then we sat down next to the building, and we didn't talk for a really long time. Finally, Mrs. came and got us. "Come on, boys and girls. Where's your spirit?" "There's just one more event for you to go," she said. She took us to the pull-up bars. The Room 8 teacher smiled real big. "All right, everybody, it's time for the pull-up contest," she said. Polly Allen Puffer stared at her. "Big whoop," he said. Then the Room 8 teacher tattled on him, and Polly Allen Puffer had to sit in timeout for a little while. Mrs. was not happy with us. "Okay, children, I understand that you're not in a good mood, but one of the things we learn in field day is to never give up. Room 9 is not a bunch of quitters, are we, Junie B?" I looked around at Room 9's faces. "I think we are pretty much," I said. Mrs. threw her hands in the air. "Okay, that's it. I am not going to take no for an answer. There must be someone in Room 9 who has the spirit to keep trying. Just one of you children has the courage not to give up. Huh? How about you, Jamal? Will you try to do a pull-up for the team?" she asked. Jamal pulled his shirt up over his face so no one could see him. "I believe that's a no," I said. Mrs. looked around some more. "Grace, how about you? Are you willing to do a pull-up for us?" "No, I can't," she said. "I really, really can't. I'm only strong with my feet." "I'm not," yelled a loud voice. "I'm strong all over my body." Room 9 turned around. Of course, it was Strong Frankie again. He made another arm muscle at us. I stamped my foot at that guy. "Stop that, Frankie," I hollered. "Stop tooting your own horn, 'cause that's not even polite. And anyway, Room 9 has strong people too. We have people who can do a jillion pull-ups, in fact. So there, huh, ha." Strong Frankie crossed his strong arm muscles and just looked at me. "Like who?" he asked. Well, I put my hands on my hips. Like lots of people. That's who. Like Like, Just then, a boy from room 9 raised his teeny tiny little hand a teeny tiny little bit. Like me, he said. Then he walked right up to the pull-up bar, and he stood there all by himself. I did a gasp. The other children in my class, they all did gasp too. 'Cause what do you know? It was William. One more chapter left. Be sure to come back tomorrow for chapter 8 called William. Hey, thanks for tuning in with me out here on the girls' softball team. And have a great day. Be strong. Bye-bye.